All right, fastest 15 minutes on the internet, fastest 15 minutes in social media. And my name is Judson Powell from the storage closet. I shouldn't have said that. That's messed up. But anyway, so I want to talk about reparations. I want to talk about the money. I want to talk about cash. I want to talk about Bitcoin. I want to talk about cryptocurrencies besides Bitcoin. I want to talk about investing in the stock market. See, I got all this stuff on my mind, so I didn't really know what to do today. And so, and then I want to talk about the trial too. I want to talk about the Derek Chauvin trial. Trying to convict this dude. So y'all know that he's not going to get first degree murder. He's not going to get premeditated murder. So please stop. The thing about it is you got too many people coming out talking that know nothing about law. And so that's the problem. Most of the pundits and all this stuff, they have no clue what the law is. They just don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at them and all that kind of stuff, but they don't know. And what you don't know, you can't really comment on. But the way I look at it, the most he's going to get is 40 years in prison, and then he'll be eligible for parole. What's a third of 40 is probably 10, 15 years or something like that. Okay. So that's what he's going to serve. They're going to let him out. That is if the judge throws the book at him. And my professional and personal opinion is that they won't throw the book at him. And why? Because the city, the state, all of the politicians there, they got to stay in bed with the police union. Because, you can't really, and see, that's the thing about all this, defund the police and all that kind of stuff. If you need the police, you need them. Because there are some crazy criminals out there. And you need somebody out there who's going to go after these crazy criminals and put them in jail. And if you don't have that, or if you don't, that's why the blue line is so hard to cross. That's why it's hard to get convictions because most police officers are not going to get up there and testify against another police officer. It's just a fact. I mean, they've had some, but usually they find them in their disgruntled. Are you going to tell the truth? No, or they're going to take the fifth. I refuse to testify on the grounds that it may incriminate me. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So that's what and I'm not saying necessarily in this trial, but in most trials where police are on trial, that's how it goes down. So he's not going to get life in prison. All right. So get that out of your mind. The next thing is that's why I keep telling y'all, that's why they added those lesser. See, what the judge has the purview to do is he can actually give him a lesser included offense, and the jury can do it as well. So the finders of fact, the judge and the jury, those are the finders of fact. And if they don't see, because the other thing is that I don't see, and which would have got him premeditated murder, is that they're not trying to do premeditated murder because they can't prove, or they don't have anybody who can prove his state of mind, which you have to prove. It can't just be, I did the act, but it has to be, was it voluntary? Was it involuntary? Was it premeditated? Was there malice? What was in his mind? And there's nobody who can prove what was in his mind because him and George Floyd were boys at one, or not boys, but they knew each other. So that's where the rubber hits the road. And George Floyd's family already took $27 million. $27 million, y'all, is so he, so to some people, especially to white people and to the police union and to the city and the state and all of that, he got justice. George Floyd's family got justice. They're not going to bring him back. Of course, it's not going to bring him back. But $27 million is a lot of money. All right. And so it's going to be a harder time to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, because all you need is one juror to have a reasonable doubt, and you won. You win the case. If you're a prosecutor. I'm sorry, a defense attorney. Right? So that's it. All right. So the next thing I got a problem with is reparations. Now, I'm looking at all these dudes, man, that are making all this money. Like right now, and I agree with Method Man. I'm trying to figure out, where is all this money coming from that these young cats got. They riding around, and I'm talking about they got houses and big mansions and big cars and all that kind of stuff. And most of them haven't been in the entertainment business for that long. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm with Mel. I'm like, well, man, where is all this money coming from? How is Kanye West with those ugly clothes? How is he a billionaire? And he got the ugliest clothing line that ever existed in human existence. And then Forbes said they made a mistake when they said he had $6 billion. I'm like, how does he have $6 billion? And he got more. All of a sudden, he got more money than Michael Jordan. And you can't tell me he has sold more stuff than Michael Jordan. Every time his shoes come out, that's one of the things we complain about. It's like every time his shoes come out, people get killed. Every time his shoes come out, people get killed. Standing in line, rob, have people take them off their feet, all kinds of stuff. People go crazy over Jordans. And if you don't have an original pair, and the next thing, and then y'all heard Tom Brady, his rookie card sold for $2.5 million. They just throwing money around like it ain't nothing nowadays. And probably because it ain't really nothing, that's why I wanted to talk about the whole cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, because and also the travel bans and all that kind of stuff is devaluing the dollar, whether we realize it or not. The dollar value in dollars is going down. So even that one, I can't think of his name, but that one football player, what did he do? He said, "Look, I'll take my salary in Bitcoin," and he made like millions of dollars overnight by taking his money instead of taking it in cash or taking it, out of the bank or whatever. He took it in Bitcoin, cashed out the Bitcoin, and he made like a whole bunch of money. So as African Americans, as black folks, we need to learn how to trade this stuff. We need to learn, he was a black, NFL player. But what I'm saying is we need to learn how this money is being made, because it ain't all just rappers. There's a lot of people out there that are making money, a whole bunch of people, but we not on the program. So that's where I get back to reparations. And the other thing I get back to is the canceling of debt. Look, I've been out of school for a long time, but I still got student loan debt. Honestly, you see what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous for people that are well educated or are supposed to be the brightest people, the brightest stars. And this don't have nothing to do with race. This is black and white. People are coming out of school and they're so far in debt that they can't make a difference to our economy or to our culture or to being able to sustain the United States of America. That's a shame. You go to school all that time, and like I said, color doesn't matter, black or white. You go to school all that time. Why do they want you to be so far in debt? And don't be a professional. Don't be like me. Don't be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, architect, anybody that requires you to stay in school for long periods of time. For my deal, it took 7 years. So I did my 4 undergrad, I did 3 in law school, and then, the ones I don't count, I did 2 for my PhD, right? So Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry, and the MBA. I forgot about that one. So I got all these degrees, but I'm in debt but more so because of my health issues than anything else. But what I'm trying to say is, why should somebody be in debt when they're the people that should be trying to sustain our society, trying to sustain the economic health of the country and everything else? The same thing with what Bernie Sanders is talking about. Why do these people have billions, have hundreds of billions of dollars? It's like they literally have hundreds of billions of dollars, and then everybody else is broke. And most of them are getting money through government subsidies. If you really find out how they get their money, they get their money from grants and loans from the federal government. Because what? Because they want to, and then if they fail or something goes wrong, what happens? They're in debt. They're in debt. And the same thing, student loans, they should be forgiven. Reparations should be given. All of these, is 1.9 trillion. It's another couple trillion and whatever, will then pay us. And that's the other thing. Why don't you want to pay the people that help build the country? Why don't you want to pay people a fair wage of $15? $15 an hour seems fair to me. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but hey, it'll help more than what's going on now. You need to and that's the thing. You need to put these people out of debt so that they can help the economy. Healthy businesses, small businesses, corporations, LLCs, or limited partnerships, all of the business organizations that are out there, they will benefit from debt forgiveness, and they'll also benefit, which people don't see, they will benefit from paying people a better wage. Why? Because once again, money is currency. You float money into the economy, and if you float money into the economy, what happens? Float money into the economy, then people are spending money, and the economy, it continues to roll. The trickle down economics that the conservative GOP folks try to practice, they've been trying to practice that since Reagan. It don't work. You got to actually because if you're making $10, $7, say you're making $7 an hour, the only money that you got to spend is for your bills and to eat, barely doing that, depending on what city you live in and where you live in that city. So these things need to be rectified. They definitely, and it's basically, it's greed. And then you see all of these CEOs, they're paying themselves like in millions and billions of dollars, not just millions, but billions, like the Walmarts of the world, the Waltons of the world who own Walmart, the Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and all these other Alibaba, all these huge corporations, they're making tons of money. And then people are walking around broke. They can't even look, most people can't afford a pair of Jordans. That's one of the things we talk about. It's like you can't even afford a pair of Jordans. You can't even afford, you can't afford to live in a nice area, in a nice house. Everybody wants to feel that American dream. Everybody wants that American dream. That's why they're here, or that's why they came here. And let's get this straight. Everybody here is an immigrant. Except for the indigenous people who are the Native Americans. And that's it. Everybody else is an immigrant. So you are giving your opportunity, so give somebody else an opportunity, because it's not going to take away, you taking away from poor people is not going to boost you up. It's not going to make you any richer than you are. And you can only live in one house, drive one at a time, drive one car at a time, and whatever. So let everybody else live. Anyway, fast 15 minutes is up. My name is Judson Powell. Like button, subscribe button, leave a comment in the messages, whatever. But I love you, and yeah, y'all pay people what they worth.